Branksome Hall, an independent all-girls school, includes a collection of historic Rosedale homes and modern buildings on a 13-acre campus near Mount Pleasant in Bloor. Here on Elm Avenue, almost 900 girls from kindergarten to grade 12 attend school.
At Branksome, we seem able to really intertwine seamlessly the history and tradition with progress and innovation. And this is so beautifully manifest in our buildings, where we have these historic buildings as the footprint of the school, and yet around them we're able to expand and build modern buildings that coexist beautifully, just as our history coexists with our future.
Being part of the tradition of Branksome Hall is really special because it has such a rich history that transcends over a century. So having a school where people went there for over 100 years, it's a really special community to be a part of. And my favorite example of this is the wooden walls that we have throughout the senior school, which have golden engravings of different students' names who were leaders in different years. And it's really cool to see that one day the people who led your Branksome experience will be on those walls as well.
I have a long history with Branksome Hall. I came here as a student in 1980 in senior kindergarten, and I graduated from Branksome in 1994. I'm what Branksome refers to as a sandbox alum, so I came for the entire part of my learning career. 5 years ago, I came back as a teacher, and it felt like coming home.
Although home for Branksome has been at different locations before settling on Elm Avenue, it has always operated out of former residences. When the school first opened, there were 70 students attending in the estate home previously belonging to Sir Frank Smith, a prominent Canadian businessman and politician.
Branksome Hall was on Bloor Street, 102 Bloor Street East, and Miss Scott was the founder of the school. And she, with a number of her business partners and the support of her father, had the money to open the school. In 1910, the school moved from 102 Bloor Street to Sherbourne Street, North Sherbourne. In 1913, the school made its third and its final move to 10 Elm Avenue, which was the first building that was purchased on our campus. Over the years, Miss Reed, who was our principal for 48 years, purchased number 14 and number 16 Elm Avenue. She also purchased a building on the West Campus, which is called Glenhurst. And to this day, we use that building for our junior school.
As Branksome grew, several more homes were purchased on Elm Avenue and on today's Mount Pleasant.
We have over 13 buildings on the campus, and it's really a mixture of some of the very new innovative buildings, such as the one that we're building now, and very old traditional buildings that really honor our heritage and the heritage of the city of Toronto, which is something we're very proud of.
Each house in this campus is built in a certain style and era and quality. So you can take a look at the campus, and each building has its own character. And I think when you bring them all together, you have a collection of buildings that create a neighborhood. So each girl can live in this neighborhood feeling like she belongs, that she's part of this campus and this neighborhood. In the rooms themselves, the buildings have grand salons. These mansions that the girls live in and some of the classrooms are in are big and bright, have large, beautiful windows looking onto the ravines. So they're very connected to the landscape, to the site, and having each one individual creates a campus and a neighborhood in the city.
At one time, the front of the school had expansive lawns, and there was lawn tennis played there, and it was an area for receptions, and it was a beautiful green space, just as we've now replicated in our woodlot and playing fields, because we've always tried to keep green spaces available. Number 10 Elm Avenue is built in the Victorian style with Queen Anne features. This elegant Victorian building was constructed in 1880 by John Lang Blakey. The Ryan family then lived here, and it was called Hollydean. In the subsequent years, it's been renovated numerous times to add classrooms, a double gym, science labs, and a performing arts center. I always think of 10 Elm Avenue as a really well-kept secret, because from the street you see this beautiful 3-story brick Victorian house with the iconic porte cochere. But as you're drawn into the building, behind it is this amazing senior school, which is really the anchor for Branksome Hall.
The first time I arrived at Branksome, when I pulled in, I immediately noticed the porte cochere, and I later found out that it was for a horse and carriage, which I thought was really cool because it's a great maintenance of all the history, that it used to be a home and this is how people used to travel, and it's really nice to have that part of history still with us. And when I walked in through the porte cochere doors, all of the detail and intricacies of the home that were maintained I thought were really beautiful. And I was interviewed in the Blue Room, which is maintained as a living space. And if you walk in there today, it still seems like someone lives there now, and it's a really nice homey feel to have to the school.
The Western Drawing Room, affectionately known as the Blue Room, because although it is today yellow, was once originally blue. And it's a beautiful drawing room where we have receptions and where families who are being interviewed for admissions sit and have their admissions interview. And it's in this room that they really feel the history and traditions of the home that number 10 Elm Avenue once was. It's also a very special room because it has the portraits of our founder, Miss Scott, and Edith Reed, the second principal of Branksome Hall. She was a remarkable woman, a determined leader, and somebody who had the insight to purchase a lot of property. And it's because of Edith McGregor Reed that the school has been able to expand and develop the properties that it has today.